That title, Why Your Life Might Not Be Worth Living Yet. It's a heavy statement, isn't it? It might even feel like a personal affront, a judgment. But what if it's not an accusation, but an invitation? An invitation from one of history's greatest thinkers, Socrates, to explore a profound idea about how we find true value in our existence. Perhaps the discomfort it sparks is the first step towards a deeper understanding, a more meaningful way of being. The key word in that challenging title is yet. It's a small word, but it carries immense weight, transforming a potential condemnation into a hopeful prospect. It suggests that the worth of our lives isn't fixed, predetermined, or out of our hands. Instead, it implies a process, a journey, a potential waiting to be unlocked. Socrates believed this potential lies within each of us, waiting to be cultivated. So who was Socrates, this figure who dared to make such a bold assertion? He wasn't a king or a conqueror in the traditional sense, but a philosopher in ancient Athens whose influence has rippled through millennia. He didn't write books. His wisdom comes to us through his students, primarily Plato. His method, persistent, often uncomfortable questioning, all in pursuit of truth and virtue. Socrates famously declared, "The unexamined life is not worth living." This is the heart of our exploration. It's not a statement about inherent human worthlessness, but a profound insight into what makes a life truly fulfilling and meaningful from the inside out. He argued that a life lived on autopilot without introspection misses the very essence of human experience. What does an unexamined life even look like in our modern world? It might be a life dictated by external pressures, societal expectations, fleeting trends, the pursuit of material gain without asking why. It's moving from one task to the next, one distraction to another, without ever pausing to connect with our deeper selves, our core values, our true desires. Living unexamined can feel like being adrift on a vast ocean, tossed about by the waves of circumstance, with no rudder or compass. There might be moments of pleasure, fleeting achievements, but a persistent, underlying sense of emptiness or dissatisfaction can remain. It's the feeling that something crucial is missing, even if we can't quite name it. Socrates wasn't being cruel, he was being direct. He believed that our unique human capacity for reason and self-reflection is a gift. To neglect this gift, to live without questioning, without seeking to understand ourselves and the world around us, is to live a life less than its full potential. It's like having a powerful instrument and never learning to play it. The promise hidden in Socrates' challenge is that an examined life is worth living. Profoundly so. This examination is not about harsh self-criticism or endless rumination. It's a constructive, illuminating process of getting to know the most important person you'll ever know, yourself. It's about peeling back layers of assumption and conditioning. Imagine your mind as a vast, unexplored inner landscape. The examined life is like becoming a conscious cartographer of this terrain. You begin to map out your beliefs, your fears, your motivations, your values. This self-awareness is the foundation upon which a meaningful life is built. Without it, we are strangers to ourselves. So the yet in our title isn't a marker of failure, but a threshold of opportunity. It signifies that no matter where you are now, the journey towards a life of greater depth and meaning can begin. Socrates offers us not a destination, but a compass and a method. The art of questioning, the practice of self-reflection. Let's delve deeper into this unexamined life. It often means operating on autopilot, following scripts written by our upbringing, society, or unacknowledged fears. We might pursue goals without asking if they truly align with our deepest values, or if they are simply what is expected of us, or what we see others pursuing. Consider the pursuit of external validation. In an unexamined life, our sense of self-worth can become dangerously tethered to the opinions of others, to achievements, to possessions. We chase praise, status, or material wealth, believing these will fill an inner void. But Socrates would argue that true worth comes from an internal locus of control and understanding. An unexamined life can also be one where we consistently avoid discomfort. We shy away from difficult questions about ourselves, our relationships, or our place in the world. We might choose superficial distractions over meaningful engagement, simply because it feels easier in the moment. But this avoidance often leads to a different kind of chronic, low-grade discomfort. Socrates saw this state not as a moral failing, but as a kind of ignorance, not a lack of information, but a lack of self-awareness. He believed that if we truly knew what was good for us, what leads to genuine flourishing eudaimonia, we would naturally pursue it. The problem is, we often don't know because we haven't looked. Think about the assumptions you live by. I must be successful in X way to be happy. I can't change Y about myself. This is just the way life is. An unexamined life accepts these assumptions as immutable truths. Socrates would gently, or perhaps not so gently, urge us to question every single one of them. The consequence of this lack of examination is often a life that feels not quite yours. It's like wearing clothes that don't fit, or living in a house designed by someone else for someone else. There's a subtle, pervasive sense of incongruence, a feeling that you're not living in alignment with your authentic self. This isn't to say an unexamined life is devoid of any joy or happiness. There can be moments of pleasure, connection, and achievement. But Socrates' point is about a deeper, more resilient form of well-being, one that isn't so easily shaken by external circumstances, because it's rooted in inner understanding and virtue. The Socratic challenge, then, is a call to awaken from this slumber of unreflection. It's an invitation to become an active participant in the creation of your own life's meaning, rather than a passive recipient of circumstance or cultural programming. It's about taking ownership. Now let's turn to the examined life. What does it entail? At its core, it's about fostering a habit of introspection and critical thinking, applied not just to the world but to ourselves. It's asking why. Why do I believe this? Why do I act this way? Why do I value this? This examination isn't a one-time event but an ongoing process, a way of engaging with life. It's like tending a garden. It requires regular attention, weeding out unhelpful thoughts or beliefs, and nurturing those that lead to growth and flourishing. It's a dynamic, living practice. One of the primary fruits of self-examination is self-knowledge. Socrates believed that to know thyself is the beginning of wisdom. When we understand our own patterns, biases, strengths, and weaknesses, we are better equipped to navigate life authentically and effectively. We stop stumbling in the dark. This self-knowledge isn't just about identifying flaws. It's also about uncovering your innate capacities, your unique virtues, your deepest, most authentic aspirations. It's about recognizing the gold within, not just the dust. This understanding forms a solid foundation for self-worth. For Socrates, the ultimate aim of self-examination was to live a virtuous life. He equated knowledge with virtue, believing that if we truly understand what is good, we will naturally do good. Vice, in his view, stemmed from ignorance, not knowing any better. What is this virtue, or arete, Socrates spoke of? It's often translated as excellence, fulfilling one's purpose or potential. It's about striving to be the best version of oneself, encompassing qualities like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These are not abstract ideals but qualities expressed in daily living. Living an examined life, therefore, isn't just about feeling good. It's about being good in the Socratic sense of living intelligently, purposefully, and in accordance with one's deepest understanding of truth and goodness. This, he argued, is what gives life its profound and enduring worth. But let's be honest, this process of examination can be uncomfortable. It requires courage to confront our own inconsistencies, our cherished illusions, or the parts of ourselves we'd rather ignore. It's easier to stay on the surface. Socrates himself was called a gadfly for constantly prodding people to think. Why bother with this discomfort? Because the alternative, according to Socrates, is a life that lacks genuine substance. The comfort of the unexamined life is often superficial, easily disrupted. The peace that comes from self-understanding, however, is deep and resilient, an anchor in the storms of life. The Socratic method often involves questioning our definitions of common concepts. What is justice? What is happiness? What is success? By examining these, we often find our initial understandings are vague, inherited, or even contradictory. This clarification is a crucial step. Consider a value you hold dear. Where did it come from? Have you truly interrogated it, or is it an echo from your past, from culture, from what others expect? The examined life invites you to own your values consciously, to choose them deliberately after careful reflection. This examination also extends to our actions. Why did I react that way? What was my true motivation? Was my action aligned with my stated values? This kind of regular, non-judgmental inquiry helps us to gradually align our inner world with our outer behavior. This isn't about achieving perfection. Socrates himself claimed his only wisdom was in knowing that he knew nothing. The value is in the honest attempt to understand, the ongoing commitment to questioning, learning, and growing. It's the sincerity of the effort that matters. Now, how do we bring this ancient wisdom into our busy, modern lives? The yet in our title suggests a starting point. It's not about a radical, overnight transformation, but about incorporating small acts of reflection into our daily rhythm. One practical way to begin is through journaling, not just recording events, but asking Socratic questions of yourself on paper. What challenged me today? What did I learn about myself? When did I act in or out of alignment with my values, and why? Another simple practice is mindful pausing. Before reacting impulsively, before making a significant decision, or even just a few times a day, take a moment. Breathe. Ask, what is truly going on here? What is my wisest response? This creates space between stimulus and reaction. Engage in conversations that matter. Talk with trusted friends or mentors not just about daily events, but about deeper questions, life's purpose, values, challenges. Socrates did his philosophy in dialogue. We too can learn and grow through shared inquiry. Define your core values. What truly matters to you stripped of external expectations? Honesty, compassion, growth, creativity, justice. Write them down. Then regularly ask yourself, am I living in a way that honors these values today? Challenge your own assumptions. When you find yourself thinking, I can't do that, or this is impossible, gently ask, is that really true? What evidence do I have? What if I approached it differently? This opens up new possibilities. This process of examination is inherently creative. As you understand yourself better, you begin to consciously sculpt your character, your habits, and ultimately, your life. You move from being a creature of habit to a creator of your own destiny, in a very real sense. The yet implies that this journey transforms potential into actuality. The worthiness Socrates speaks of isn't bestowed from outside, it's cultivated from within. Every act of honest self-reflection, every conscious choice aligned with your deeper values, adds to this inner richness. Remember, this isn't about achieving some flawless, enlightened state. Socrates embraced his own ignorance. The beauty is in the sincere engagement with the process, the willingness to learn and adapt. Perfection is an illusion, growth is real. This Socratic path is not about withdrawing from the world, but engaging with it more fully, more consciously, more authentically. When you know yourself, you can connect with others more deeply, contribute more meaningfully, and navigate challenges with greater wisdom and resilience. Think of the unexamined life as a seed dormant. It holds immense potential, but it needs the right conditions to sprout and flourish. Self-examination provides the light, the water, the nourishment for that seed to grow into its fullest expression. Each time you question an automatic thought, each time you reflect on your motives, each time you consciously choose an action aligned with your values, you are tending to this inner growth. These are not grand gestures, but small, consistent acts of self-awareness. The worthiness Socrates alludes to is not a destination you arrive at, but a quality of the journey itself. A life lived with intention, with curiosity, with a commitment to understanding. That life is already imbued with a profound sense of meaning, moment by moment. So your life might not be worth living yet is actually a call to empowerment. It's saying, you have the tools, the capacity within you right now to begin crafting a life of profound significance. The power lies in your willingness to look within. Socrates himself lived this philosophy to the very end. Even when facing death, he continued to question, to seek understanding, to live in accordance with his principles. His life became a testament to the power of an examined existence. His legacy isn't a set of doctrines, but a method of inquiry, a spirit of relentless curiosity. He taught us how to think, not what to think. This is why his wisdom remains so potent and relevant thousands of years later. The journey of self-examination can sometimes feel solitary, as it is deeply personal. But it also connects us to a long tradition of wisdom seekers, to figures like Socrates who walked this path before us, lighting the way. You are not alone in this pursuit. One of the most liberating aspects of this philosophy is that it removes the pressure of external benchmarks for a good life. Your life's worth isn't measured by your wealth, status, or achievements in the eyes of others. It's measured by your internal alignment, your self-awareness, your commitment to virtue. This internal metric is far more stable and fulfilling. External circumstances change, fortunes rise and fall, opinions waver. But the richness of an examined inner life, the peace that comes from self-understanding, can be a constant source of strength and contentment. This is not to say we should disregard the external world or our responsibilities within it. Rather, an examined life allows us to engage with the world more effectively, more ethically, and with a clearer sense of purpose. Our actions become rooted in genuine conviction, not reactivity. Imagine the shift in your daily experience. Instead of being driven by unconscious impulses or anxieties, you begin to navigate your day with greater intention. Each choice, however small, becomes an opportunity to practice self-awareness and live by your chosen values. The yet in the title also offers a profound sense of hope. No matter how unexamined your life may feel up to this point, the potential for change is always present. Every new day, every new moment is a fresh opportunity to begin the inquiry. This Socratic journey is not about finding all the answers. In fact, it's often about becoming more comfortable with questions, with uncertainty, with the mystery of existence. True wisdom often lies in understanding the limits of our knowledge. Embracing this path can lead to a profound sense of inner freedom. Freedom from the tyranny of others' expectations, freedom from your own limiting beliefs, freedom from the fear of not being enough. You discover that your inherent worth is not conditional. When your life gains this inner-directed worth, it naturally radiates outwards. You become a more present partner, a more understanding friend, a more compassionate member of society. Your inner work benefits not just you, but those around you. This isn't a quick fix or a simple hack. It's a lifelong commitment, a practice that deepens and evolves over time. But the rewards are not deferred to some distant future. They are found in the very act of engaging with the process, here and now. So the question isn't whether your life is or isn't worth living. The real Socratic question is, are you willing to engage in the process that makes it worth living? Are you willing to look within, to question, to grow? The initial provocation of the title was designed to make you stop, to think, perhaps even to feel a little uncomfortable. That discomfort can be a powerful catalyst for change, a sign that something within you is ready to awaken. Socrates offered us a timeless key, self-examination. Not as a form of self-indulgence, but as a fundamental human responsibility and the pathway to a truly flourishing life. It's about moving from being a passenger to being the navigator of your own existence. The worth, we are discussing is not a material or social currency. It is an intrinsic quality, a deep sense of alignment, purpose, and integrity that arises from knowing and living in accordance with your true self. This is a wealth no one can take from you. Consider one small aspect of your life today where you could apply a little more conscious examination. Perhaps a recurring reaction, a routine decision, or an unvoiced assumption. What might you discover if you paused and questioned it just for a moment? This is not about finding fault, but about finding truth, your truth. It's about understanding your own operating system so you can debug it, upgrade it, and run programs that genuinely serve your well-being and purpose. The journey of the examined life is, in essence, a journey back to yourself. Beneath the layers of conditioning, expectation, and fear, there is an authentic core. The Socratic method helps you to gently uncover and reclaim it. So the challenge, why your life might not be worth living yet, is ultimately an expression of profound optimism. It believes in your capacity for growth, for wisdom, for creating a life of deep and abiding value. The yet is your open door. What Socrates truly bequeathed us is a radical invitation to live more consciously, to shift from a reactive mode of existence, dictated by external stimuli, to a proactive mode, guided by internal reflection and consciously chosen principles. This shift is the essence of a life becoming truly worth living. The beauty of this philosophy is its accessibility. It doesn't require special training or esoteric knowledge, only a willingness to be honest with yourself and to ask genuine questions. The laboratory for this work is your own mind, your own life, every single day. As you embark on or continue this journey of self-examination, be patient with yourself. There will be moments of clarity and moments of confusion. This is natural. The commitment to the process, to showing up for yourself with curiosity, is what matters most. Ultimately, Socrates suggests that a life gains its deepest worth not from what it gets, but from what it becomes through conscious effort and self-cultivation. It's an active, ongoing creation, a masterpiece you are painting with the choices and reflections of each day. So the question lingers, not as a judgment, but as a gentle, persistent Socratic nudge. Is your life examined? Is it becoming, day by day, a life you know from the inside out to be truly and deeply worth living? The power to answer yes is, and always has been, within you.